All right, guys, welcome back to 243 Outdoors. My name is Josh. Today I decided it's time to make another 300 Blackout video, and I want to explore Shooter's World Heavy Pistol. Going to be loading this with some Sierra Game Kings. These are 150 grain soft points. Got a box of these. I've been playing around with these a little bit yesterday, doing some pressure tests with this powder, and I think we're ready to make a video. So I picked this powder up, I don't remember, it says 7.3 of 21, and I gave $23.99 for a pound of powder. This powder is very similar to Hodgdon's H110, similar in the burn rate. If we go to Shooter's World's website here, we can see that the H110 is right here, and Heavy Pistol is right here. So it's in the, same range. Probably the Heavy Pistol is just a touch bit faster burning than the H110. And then if we go over to their load data, we have two listings for 300 Blackout. We have 125 grain Sierra Match King with a match charge of 14.2, and we have a 140 grain Nosler with a match charge of 13.2 at 1854 feet per second. If we also look on the can itself, there is a little bit of load data for 125 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail and the max charge of 14.7. So what I did yesterday was did some test charges and kind of getting some pressure readings on this. I put them here on a spreadsheet for you guys. So I wrote down the H110 load data out of the Hornady manual and the Sierra manual just for reference, 15.9 and 16.3. Hornady tends to be a little conservative on their rating. Shooter's World Heavy Pistol, 13.2 for the 140. And then the Sierra for this bullet recommends a cartridge overall length of 2.140. So these are the charges I shot yesterday. I didn't have my seating die set up quite right, and I seated the first three just a little bit short at 2.125. The powder measure I'm using is the Lee Perfect Powder Measure. It is throwing this powder excellent, no trickling required. However, it does leak just a little bit. It's very fine powder, and you'll see a little bit come out, but it's not too big of a deal. But I shot 3 shots. The first shot I shot was not on target due to my scope being dialed for the heavy subsonics. And I went ahead and shot 2 more, and I had a 1775 average velocity, 3.1 standard deviation, and a 6-inch extreme spread. I went right back in here, and I reloaded 3 more with the corrected length. The velocity dropped down just a little bit to 1720, 5 standard deviation, extreme spread of 10. I had about a 2-inch group on these 3 shots, so showed a little bit of potential there. I jumped up to 13.8, same overall length. We had a 1785, 8.1 standard deviation, 18 extreme spread, and I had about a 2-inch group. I jumped on up to 14.2. My second shot had a very high velocity. I don't know why. I measured every charge out, but anyway, that impact also went very high, opening the group up to about 3 inches. And if we delete that second shot to the right there, we had an 1826 average, 16 standard deviation, and a 38 extreme spread. And I went on up to 14.7 grains, ended up hitting 1900 feet per second, 10 on the standard deviation, 25 extreme spread. This had a 1.5-inch group at 100 yards. I was just shooting at a steel target. One shot was slightly to the left. It was a 4-shot group, was 1 inch, and then that 5th shot just opened it up a little bit. The brass here, the last 2 rows are from the upper charges, and we're still not showing pressure. We're getting close, I think just a little bit more, and we're really going to be flattening out the primers. Edges are still around here. So what I want to do today is duplicate this 14.7 again, since we had such a really good group. Got 10 pieces of brass all prepped up and primed, and I'm going to throw my charges, seat them, and then we'll run out and shoot them. All right, so everything's set up. We're seating here. What I'm doing is seating the bullet halfway, rotating it a little bit, and then the rest of the way. Kind of make sure our concentricity is good, and we are at the 2.140. So we got 5 done, 5 to go. I was looking at a lot of factory ammo for 300 Blackout, and a lot of the 150 grain offerings run between 1900 and 2100 feet per second. So this 1900 load is right in with that factory ammo. We've had some snow and colder weather the last couple weeks, and it's finally got kind of nice out where we can go shoot a little bit. Still extremely muddy out, so I'm gonna have to run down the range and set up a paper target, and then we'll set the camera up on the spotting scope so you guys can watch it live as a shoot. When we get done testing these, I would like to explore the NOE 135 grain round nose I have for the 300 Blackout, and we'll see if we can get those velocities up a little bit. I got a pretty good load with Shooter's World Blackout. That's around 1,300 feet per second, but I think we can get that up there, you know, 18, 19, maybe even 2,000 feet per second. So James Pollard's a big 300 Blackout guy. He likes them fast, so we're gonna speed up some of our loads and see what kind of accuracy we can find. So we got 10 loaded up here, ready to go. Go get set up outside and we'll shoot some. All right, so it's 45 degrees. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. It's still getting below freezing at night. Pond's still frozen over. The ground yesterday afternoon was extremely muddy. It's still got some freeze in it from overnight. But we're gonna run out here to our target at 100, put our paper up, and get started. All right, so we are all set up. This is a Savage Axis in 300 Blackout. It has a 16-inch threaded barrel. It's a heavy barrel, AccuTrigger. We're using the primary arms 4-14 by 44 scope. Pretty good scope. I like the 14 power. The only downfall to this is it's a mil dot scope and the reticle is very thick. The 1-inch dot at 100, that line, the center crosshairs almost covers that dot. So we're looking for, you know, 1-inch group today. I'd be happy with 1.5 inches. We'll see what we can do. I'm gonna put the spotting scope on the tripod, give you a view down it, and we'll get started. All right, we're set up. Gonna shoot 5 at the left, 5 at the right. All right, I am very happy with that. Like I said, that should be right at 1,900 feet per second. So we're gonna go ahead and shoot our next 5. I'm gonna make a scope adjustment. I'm gonna raise it up about 1/2 mil, and then we'll go from there. Target on the right. All right, looks like we kind of had a little bit of flyer that went a little bit high. We'll run down range, retrieve our target, measure it out, and give you some final thoughts. All right, we are back in from the range, and we're all measured out. Our first group, 14.7 grain Shooter's World Heavy Pistol, .990. All 5 shots grouped together. Our second group had a little bit of a flyer. I excluded that flyer, and we're about just under 1.5 inches for the 4 that are closest together. So this is not a matched bullet. This is a hunting bullet. This is plenty good in order to kill a deer. We can actually use 300 Blackout in Illinois if it's in a single shot pistol. A lot of people are taking ARs, blocking the mag well off, and then you don't run a gas system to make it a single shot pistol. But something like this would definitely get the job done. We're within kind of what I seen yesterday. I shot basically 4 like that yesterday, and then I had a separate little flyer out here, very similar to that. So we'll take it. That's gonna wrap up today's video. So I just wanted to give you guys a look at Shooter's World Heavy Pistol in 300 Blackout. Not a lot of info on this, not a lot of videos on this powder, so thought I'd do a little exploring with it. So here's the brass that we just shot. Everything looks good. Edges are still round. We have not met pressure on it yet, but we're actually shooting pretty good there. And like I said, we run 1900 feet per second yesterday. We got good standard deviations, good extreme spread. So I think that's a pretty good load for this rifle. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you later.